Teman-teman, inilah wawancara Olivia LaVoice langsung dengan The Real Life Joker, dengan manusia 1000 wajah.
What is your life been like if you had to describe it to someone?
It's been quite interesting. It's been quite an adventure. Interesting. There's ills, there's joys, there's laughter, there's cries. But all in all, I wouldn't change anything. I loved what I experienced. I loved what I go through. To this day, they ask me if I can go back in time and change anything. Will I? No, I will not. Even in this case, in this murder case, if I can go back and change it, I will do it again and over again. And if I'm released, I'll probably end up back here with the same thing. So.
Si Jaime Osuna ini telah diwawancari oleh wartawan sebanyak 2 kali. Tak lama setelah ia ditangkap atas tuduhan kasus pembunuhan di Batmania di tahun 2011, dia memberikan pernyataan singkat kepada salah satu stasiun TV bahwa dia menyangka telah melakukan kejahatan tersebut. Namun 6 tahun kemudian, si Olivia LaVoice, si jurnalis kita ini, berhasil mewawancarai dia dan dia mengakui semua perbuatannya. Dia bercerita lebih banyak lagi kepada si Olivia LaVoice. Si Jaime ini bercerita dan dia berterus terang bahwa dia mendapatkan sebuah sensasi saat dia melakukan kejahatan tersebut, dan dia mengatakan bahwa kekerasan adalah bagian dari hidupnya.
Can you describe what it feels like when you're committing a murder? I mean, you can't really put your finger.
Okay, fine. Then you wanted to get into the whole psychological aspect, which I know. I'm going to tell you based on the fact that maybe my son is going to grow older and he's going to be able to look at all this so he can backtrack and see my mentality as of right now. I've been a cutter since I was 12 years old, all of my arms since I was 12. And I've been that type of person where as I grow older and older, I seem to get more disconnected emotionally and physically to things. So it's hard to get an emotional sense of things. Like if you say a joke or everybody else is laughing, it's funny, I know it's funny, but I just don't feel it, so, or let's say tattooing or something like that, it gets to the point too, to where first it hurts, later on you get older and older, it doesn't, cutting doesn't, and it gets to the point where you're mutilating yourself to feel that adrenaline, to feel that pain. So as far as murder goes, and why, is a simple fact that I've done everything that I could do to my body, that I could think possible, to bring pain and bring feeling upon myself, to make myself feel alive. I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all, basically. So, as you kill a person, it's more of a trying to get a rush. It's a rush. It's an addiction. It's a drug. I would rather do that than do drugs. I'd rather do that than have sex with the beautifulest woman in the world.
Seorang polisi ahli forensik psikolog, Dr. Chris Mahandi, menjelaskan seperti ini.
What I'm hearing about Mr. Osuna is that he didn't feel alive. He felt dead. He didn't have any emotional experience. Cutting gave him a sense of being alive and having an experience of emotion. Now, the idea that resorting to killing others is probably not unusual among serial killers. The killing, the hunt, and everything surrounding it may be the most alive and stimulated that they feel in their lives.
Kemudian si Jaime Osuna ini menjelaskan bahwa kejahatannya ini tidak sesederhana dengan hanya membunuh seseorang dan selesai begitu saja. Dalam pandangannya, untuk mendapatkan sensasi kepuasan emosional sejati, Anda harus melangkah lebih jauh dari itu. Ini dark ini, teman-teman.
See, a person, when they commit a murder, they can shoot somebody. See, when you shoot somebody, the gun is mostly doing all the work. The bullet goes, you see the red splat, the person drops. You might shoot him in the head, his brains might spray, that's it. You might forget about it a year, 2 years later, you might have a glimpse. But as you torture and stay with the body even afterwards, the smell, the decomposing, the maggot and fly activity that occurs and all that, when you experience and you go through all that stuff, it stays with you forever. For me, it's not a nightmare. for me it is a, how can I say, like a prize, like a trophy. It's a picture, it's a memory, it's a photograph that I can go back and look and get pleasure from it. There you go.
Dan kemudian sang jurnalis cantik si Olivia LaVoice ini mencari sisi lemahnya si Jamie. Ia mulai menanyakan tentang bagaimana perasaannya terhadap anaknya sendiri.
Do you love your son?
Yes, I do love my son.
Dengan menjawab pertanyaan dengan jelas dan tenang, ia selangkah lebih maju daripada si Olivia LaVoice.
And basically, if something like this were to happen to him, I would have to accept it. I understand people might say, well, what if you were in her position? Or what if you were her kids and that was your mother or your relative or your grandmother that you love? But I just have that heart that it is what it is, and life is an experience, and life moves on, and life is life.
Dan ketika Jamie menceritakan tentang bagaimana dia melakukan pembunuhan terhadap Eps7, bahwa dia memang sengaja untuk tidak membersihkan jejaknya di tempat kejadian perkara di motel tersebut.
I've done this many times before, I've done crimes before, and I know how to clean shit up.
Dan dengan spontan si Olivia menanyakan sebuah pertanyaan yang membuka topik pembicaraan baru dengan jawaban yang mengejutkan.
There was no other circumstances as far as like burglary or any type of situation that went wrong. It was more of a, oh, this is an opportunity, because I did crimes before that they don't know about. So this just happened to be the one that was just like, all right, this is the rock bottom. This is time. This is it.
Have you killed anyone else?
Yes,
How many others?
2.
Who are they?
Can't tell you, but you will find out, because I always got to have an ace in the hole. So when I get convicted of this, I'm going to go to death row. When I go to San Quentin, I'll probably do 10, 15 years. I'll probably use that as my leverage. You know?
Why do you target women?
It's not just women. It's more of a opportunity. The other 2 people, one was a male, so it's not just opportunity.
Your
So
other
male.
homicide victims, the 2 others?
One male, one female. So this has just happened to be, one of those situations.
Sisa dari wawancara tersebut, Olivia terus bertanya tentang 2 orang korban pembunuhan yang masih misterius ini.
These other 2 victims, did you kill them because they were
No.
They were weaker?
No.
Why did you do that?
No. It's opportunity. I don't care if you're a lawyer. I don't care if you're a teacher. I don't care if you're a gang member. I don't care if you're my brother or sister. I don't care if you're whoever. It's the choices that I make at that time. It's self-gratification. A human is a human to me when they're stripped down. Their background, what they believe in, I can really care less.
How old were you when you committed your first murder?
13.
13.
13 years old.
How old was the victim?
The victim was 27.
How does a 13-year-old get themselves in
And then the other one,
27?
well, then the other one was in 2007, November 2007. 32-year-old female.
So when you were 13 years old, you killed a 27-year-old male?
Yes.
How? What are the circumstances behind that?
Kind of don't want to get into that because I was young at that age, and that part had to do with, how can I say it, a certain, what is that word? I was kind of like a protege, had a teacher. Really don't want to get into that one because I was kind of guided on that one. I was kind of helped with a little bit, but that was the first taste of
Was that gang related?
no.
No.
None of my crimes are gang related.
But you have someone in your life who taught you how to kill? Is that what you're saying?
There was a person, a friend that to these days I still got friends that way that believe in the same stuff that I believe in.
And then in 2007 you killed a 32-year-old woman?
Yeah, I did it. I committed bit.
Where did you store them?
So you're getting into details now, and I can't. Sorry, it's one of the questions I can't ask. But the orchards, I could say, I put the orchards out there. Curry County has a lot of orchards.
Do you know if this woman had friends and family that have been wondering all this time who would have done this to her?
I'll tell you what. No, I have no remorse, and yes, I knew they had a family. And just because of when I snatched them up, the credentials that they had on them and the IDs and everything, and I was able to go through their phone and see what the kids, the pictures and stuff like that. So that's how I was able to put together the person.
Mothers.
Yes, Yvette and her, and then one man. So no, I have no remorse. No.
I'm a little
Sympathy.
confused because I'm hearing that you want to get this case over with. You don't want to go to trial. You're admitting your guilt. You're accepting that you're going to go to death row, but you're also saying that you have other crimes that you're partially admitting to, but you want to use them down the road to try to get off.
No, not get off death row. So you have to understand, there's a whole psychological aspect about this.
Inilah alasan dari beberapa tindak kejahatan Jaime yang sengaja ia buat agar menjadi misteri dan tidak terpecahkan. Berikut alasannya.
See, when you get convicted and you get all the skeletons out of the closet, emotionally, psychologically, you feel empty when you get chained and shackled up and go to CDC, because I've been in many prisons before. So when I go up there, I want to have these this something to hold on to, something to when the time comes, I can bring it up.
Si Jaime Osuna merasa jika ia merahasiakan sisi gelap dari kejahatannya ini, dan dia menjadi satu-satunya orang yang memiliki informasi tentang kejahatannya ini, hal ini akan membantu mengisi kekosongan di dalam dirinya sendiri. Banyak orang menganggap bahwa si Jaime ini adalah seorang pemuja setan. Namun, apakah dia benar-benar seorang satanis? Di tahun 2013, pernah ditemukan ada beberapa surat yang dia kirimkan ke jaksa penuntut umum, di mana dia menuliskan sesuatu tentang memuji-muji setan secara konsisten. Dan dia juga menyertakan gambar pentagram yang sama seperti tato di dahinya. Dan setiap surat selalu diakhiri dengan kata, "Your diabolical friend Osuna," yang artinya... Namun sebelum dia mengklaim dirinya sebagai seorang satanis, si Jaime ini dikenal sebagai seorang anggota geng. Menurut dokumen pengadilan, nama gengnya adalah Loquito, yang dalam bahasa Spanyol bisa diartikan sebagai a little crazy, atau si kecil yang gila.
Can I ask, are you in a gang?
Was just in a street gang, in a prison gang, but not no more. I got out for my wife and for my kid.
Berpengetahuan luas adalah sebuah deskripsi yang sering didengar dari banyak orang yang mengenal si Jaime ini. Si Jaime Osuna dikenal sebagai seorang yang cerdas. Saudara tirinya Jaime, si Curtis, menceritakan tentang kegiatan Jaime dulu di saat Jaime pernah dibebaskan dari penjara atas kasus penikaman pertamanya itu. Menurut keterangannya, si Jaime menghabiskan sebagian besar waktunya di rumah untuk membaca buku.
At my grandmother's house, he had a whole wall was a bookshelf. It was full of books. He would just sit in there and read all day.
Do you have any idea like what he was reading, like what type of books he liked?
It was mostly psychology, I believe, because he would always talk about reverse psychology and mental illnesses.
Do you think he has mental illness?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Sosok Jaime yang mempunyai gangguan kejiwaan adalah sisi lain dari dirinya. Setiap orang mempunyai perspektif yang berbeda-beda. Namun menurut saya, sederhananya begini. Ada manusia yang mengaku dirinya mendapatkan sensasi kesenangan di saat ia melakukan pembunuhan. Lalu dengan tenang ia menyaksikan proses pembusukan mayat. Dan ia dengan bangga bisa mengenang hal ini sebagai sebuah hadiah atau trofi. Menurut Anda, orang seperti ini waras? Saya kembalikan kepada kalian semua.
Is he crazy? I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that question. I mean, how could you not be mentally ill to be that person? But at the same time, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Si Jaime ini telah didiagnosa menderita penyakit mental seperti skizofrenia. Namun menurut dokumen pengadilan lainnya menunjukkan bahwa dia adalah seorang paranoid. Kondisi kesehatan mentalnya adalah topik yang kompleks menurut saya. Ada beberapa kasus pelaku kriminal yang benar-benar tidak bisa memahami mengapa mereka bisa dipenjara, atau mereka tidak mengerti apa yang terjadi. Namun si Jaime Osuna ini tidak seperti itu. Dia dengan secara sadar melakukan hal-hal keji tersebut. Apakah dengan ini membuktikan bahwa dia tidak sakit atau dia waras? Jawabannya tidak. Di kasus Jaime, biasanya masyarakat secara keseluruhan tidak menggambarkan mereka sebagai orang yang menderita gangguan kejiwaan. Sosiopat atau psikopat cenderung menjadi label yang tepat untuk kasus ini.